America has become tolerant of tolerance, but not of truth. This startling proclamation was delivered over 20 years ago by Dr. Erwin Lutzer of the Moody Church in Chicago. Appropriate and accurate as the statement was then in describing America, it's far more compelling today. In the intervening years, America has been engulfed in the flames of a culture war in which truth has become the white-hot center. A culture war in which our rich Judeo foundations are under bitter attack from our humanistic enemy. And so there is a tremendous debate over this word truth. And that leads us to the question, what is the state of the union in America today? That's a popular topic for politicians. So we'd like to offer in very abbreviated version our own State of the Union under the subtitle, America in the Twilight of Truth. We're Eagle Forum's National Court Watch, and I'm Virginia Armstrong, the National Chairman. And I would suggest that as we consider this topic, we have to answer three questions. Number one, what is happening? Number two, who is responsible? And number three, how do we as Judeo-Christian advocates respond more effectively in the conflict and fight to remove truth from the shroud of this twilight? Number one, what is happening? This twilight of truth, which is spread across our country, has particularly afflicted four fundamental policy areas in American law and life. And those are number one, religious liberties, number two, evolutionism versus creationism, number three, abortion life issues, and number four, so-called homosexual rights and marriage. Let's look at these because there is a logical progression as you move from one to the other. Decisions in one automatically are going to lead to decisions in another if there is, quote, logic to the court. And so, first of all, in the religion decisions. Beginning in 1961 and going into the 70s, the court began to define religion, and it started in 61 by telling us that a thought system could be a religion even though it did not include, as a matter of fact, it could deny anything in the way of existence or nature of a theistic God of the Old and New Testament. So God is scrubbed from religion as a necessary element, and we've really lost the battle right there because that's the whole necessary foundation for everything else eradicated. But it's a short move then for the court to go on to number two policy area, evolutionism versus creationism. In 1965, the court ruled that a state cannot compel the teaching of only creationism in the public schools. It's all right to teach evolution only, but not creationism. And of course, evolution teaches that man is an animal. And so the state puts its imprimatur on that belief, but why not? If there is no God, then there really is no man. As a very wise pastor had observed a number of years earlier, when man destroys God, he destroys himself. Atheism is suicidal. So persons have become animals. That then leads very logically to the downfall in area of our policy, number three, and that's in abortion rights and the whole life area. If man is simply an animal, then the court could very easily declare in Roe v. Wade, 1973, quote, and this is still standing law, for purposes of the 14th Amendment, the unborn is not a person, end quote. Again, he's already been declared an animal. He does not have a divine source to give him any more meaning, a natural progression or regression. Number four policy area, homosexual rights in marriage. Beginning in 1996 in Romer versus Evans, the court started to legitimize homosexual behavior. And from there, it was the great plunge downward, culminating, at least up to this point, in the abortion, in the decisions of the court on homosexual marriage, where it legitimizes, constitutionalized, gave constitutional protections to homosexual marriage in the 2015 cases. And again, why not? There isn't any absolute morality. Man is simply an animal. Why even worry about what marriage is in the first place? This then is what is happening, and this is the first question to be answered in regard to the State of the Union. We are left with two questions, and we'll address those two questions in part two of this presentation, and we hope you'll want to join us.